questions for Brad.
Is this team ready for its first game?
Ready or not, the game's coming, so we'll be ready.
What have been the good things about the preseason?
I think just overall in terms of understanding what's being asked from the coaching staff, patterns of play, ideas, the cohesiveness has certainly shown through at different points, which is certainly a positive.
And what's still under construction?
Everything. Listen, it's the first game of a long season ahead, and so there's going to be moments when it's helter skelter and it's crazy and it's chaotic. There's going to be moments that hopefully it looks like we've been training for the last 6 months, there's going to be times when we need to be able to weather a storm here or there, and they're entitled to have the ball as well, it should be good.
You're a big believer in intensity and coming out with intensity and starting games on the right foot.
Yep.
Do you see that from this group of players, that they're capable and wanting to do that?
Yeah. There's probably a difference in terms of understanding from what you guys interpret as intensity and what we're doing on the field. Going back to the other day, I saw some of your tweets, and I would disagree with how you labeled the start of the game for us.
Okay.
And those moments, any team is allowed to have the ball. Any team is just as good and able to attack and create problems for us. That's their job. And so intensity doesn't mean just rah, rah, rah and run around like, chickens with our heads cut off. It's being smart when we're pressing, how we're pressing, where we're winning the ball back. It's certainly important to have intensity. It's certainly important to have a good start to the game. But we have to do it in a intelligent way.
You can tell me I'm wrong on Twitter. I've been wrong.
Listen, I stay off social media. I just use it to check what's happening and make sure you guys are all reporting on us.
Are you captain again this year?
That's a question for Gonzalo.
Do you want to be captain again this year?
For me, listen, it's not about one captain. It's about leaders on the field. You need guys all over the field to take up ownership of what's happening. You need guys directing traffic, being commanding, helping other guys around them. With or without an armband, I do that. That's my personality. That's part of the position as a goalkeeper. You see the entire field, so regardless, it's a position that for me it just. That's how I play, and so whether, like I said, armband or not, that doesn't change. I think we have a few guys on our team that have taken up that. I wouldn't say, leadership, but they've certainly taken more accountability, which is good because we need that, and we need more guys on the field that are doing that.
Who is that?
Guys on the field.
You said a few of the guys. Which few?
Guys on the field.
Brad, I saw you working with George. How have you seen him kind of come along?
Yeah, listen, George has had a really good preseason. The thing with Georgie is it's, there can be absolute moments of brilliance, and then, you need to stay on top of him to make sure we continue to get those moments of brilliance, as with any young player. And so, 90 minutes mentally can certainly be exhausting, and when you're trying to read different things that the opposition is trying to put you under pressure, and ways that we're trying to play out, being helpful for him to stay in his ear and keep him engaged. But his growth this preseason has been tremendous. I think he's certainly one that we're excited for going forward, not just for game one, but certainly within the club. And he's earned that right. there's been good days, there's been bad days, but the thing with George is his mentality has been always to want to get better, and you can't teach that. And so when you have that, normally good things happen.
How do you feel just now getting ready for your 6th MLS season? And, is there excitement? Or do you get any of that anymore, getting ready for that first game?
For sure. I mean, there's obviously a buzz. It's nice to now go into, the real deal. And, preseason's good and great, but, there's nothing like a match day. There's nothing like 70,000, right, in the stadium. And the atmosphere that we're luckily able to call home, we can't recreate that here in the training ground. We can't recreate that in preseason. So that part is always exciting, and it always gives you butterflies. I think if you don't have those butterflies, then you're probably missing that little bit of something that gives you that cutting edge.
And how much of a difference does it make? You start the season every year thinking it's going to be the head coach, and you have Pineda now here for the start of this school season.
For sure.
What of a difference has that made for you guys?
Yeah, it's been huge, and I would say not because he's been here for the whole preseason, but because we got to understand him a little bit throughout last year. And, I wouldn't say it's been the same as last year, just because now he's had a 6-week period to really work with us day in and day out, in terms of fitness, in terms of real tactics, and have time to implement those ideas. That part is always crucial. And so that's been extremely beneficial, I think. More so probably for the outfield guys, right, in terms of what's being asked of them from the coaching staff.
Effective coaches can build connections with players. It's not just about saying this is what I want you to do. How would you rate Pineda's effectiveness as just being able to connect with players?
Really good. At this level, and whether it's the NBA, the NFL, Major League Baseball, NHL, whatever professional league, very rare, unless you've got an academy kid coming through who's 17, 18, very rarely will you see a manager go and change and make a Joseph Martinez even better, or change Joseph Martinez's habits or ways that he trains, or make him a better player. The job then of the manager is essentially man management, and how do you get the best out of Joseph Martinez consistently day in and day out. And I think he does a very good job of having those relationships, whether it be small conversations inside the training facility, whether it be off the field, on the field, talking soccer, talking about family. Building those relationships are massive at this level. I think if you ask any professional athlete, they would much rather give everything they have for a manager that not only cares about them as the athlete, but as the person as well.
Brad, is there anyone in particular who's had a really strong preseason who could, maybe that fans don't really know quite as well yet, but should be looking out for this season?
Well, I mean, I think you look, probably at someone like, Andrew, who now is coming in for George, who obviously has come through the academy, and obviously, a fantastic move for him to go to Europe and go to Germany. But now a real opportunity for Andrew to come back to his parent club after being on loan, and kind of learning what Gonzalo and the coaching staff they want and what they're asking out of him. But seeing him being as productive as he has been, both in training and in games, in terms of his work rate, his cohesiveness with Miles, with George, with center midfielders, our attacking players, that part should be exciting.
How is it kind of blended in with that back line? I mean, it takes obviously a second to get some of that cohesiveness.
For sure.
Up to a level where at least at the start of the season you feel good about it.
No, definitely, yeah. I mean, I think he's a guy that when you look at him, he brings, I don't want to use the word ugliness, but he brings some toughness to him. He brings some toughness to our back line, and you need that. You need men out there. It's not just about ticky-tacky football and making everything look pretty. You need somebody that's gonna, maybe boot the opposition striker into the 10th row or something, and he's got that about him, and you need that, not in a dirty way, but you need that nastiness, and he's got it. So, I think he'll slide right in.
Where have you seen the
Yeah, I mean, it's no secret, right? Last year was a huge year for him, individually, obviously with the national team, with here at Atlanta, and something I tell him is just being consistent, and now being a guy that, yes, we count on him, but now counting on him in other ways, in terms of, a bigger personality, a bigger role on the field, an understanding of what's being asked of him. You know, it's easy when everything's going really well, and you're with the national team. You come back here, but now can we do that week in and week out, and put together a real run of games where we're strong as can be in terms of our back line, in terms of myself, in terms of defensively, to allow our attacking players to go and win us the game.
You got time for one or two more?
Brad, this is the 6th year, 6 different team program. Each team is different than the previous. What's different about this?
I think when you look at this team, I think and obviously there's a few guys that are still missing from today's training session, but we got a glimpse of it down in Mexico, and you start to have a real sense of what 2017, 2018 kind of felt like in terms of our attacking players, and guys that want to be vertical, and go that way. And that's something that we've talked about within as a group. Not just passing the ball to pass the ball, not just keeping possession to keep possession, but understanding why we're keeping possession, understanding what we're trying to do, and how we're trying to create chances. I think that part puts a smile on my face when you think about going that way and scoring goals.
So it's fair to say you guys are having fun again?
Yeah, I mean, listen, if you're not having fun, then you're in the wrong business. But yeah, I mean, that's what it's about. I don't want to see Joseph defending our box. I want Joseph, the train horn going off, fireworks going off, and him being pissed at the crowd and whatnot, and because that means goals are going in, and that's a good day for all of us.
All right, thanks. We'll have Andrew step in next.
Thanks, guys.
Did you play in Mercedes-Benz Stadium with Cincinnati?
Yeah.
Okay, so this Sunday will not be your first. But I assume you're excited about it.
Yeah, no, I think it's definitely going to be a different feel for me with 70,000 behind you as opposed to 70,000 against you. So I'm really looking forward to it.
How comfortable are you now in Pineda's system now that you've been training for 5 weeks or so?
Yeah, I think every day I'm learning it a little bit better. I'm understanding what my role is, but also what the roles of people around me are, so I can play with them with more fluidity and continuity. But it's still a work in progress. It's still really early in the season, so hopefully day by day we just improve a little bit each time.
You played for quite a few different managers the past couple of years. What makes Gonzalo Pineda's ability to connect personally with players maybe better than others you've played for?
Yeah, I think it's just kind of a unique quality he has, and I can't pinpoint why he has it, but you just get the feel about him that he really cares for you as more than a player, as a person. And I think it also stems from him being a former player. He understands what our daily mentality is. Whether it's ups, downs, whatever we're going through, he can kind of relate to, and I think that's a really good quality to have as a coach.
Brad, we were saying how you can play ugly when you need to. What does that mean to you?
I mean, I spent a year in New York, so we don't play like the prettiest style. For me, especially last year, what I learned the most was just how to grind out games. On any given day, you're not going to be at your best. You could have a really, really off day, but if you can just find a way to win in this league, it's going to go a long way throughout the year. And that's something that I can bring to this team, that maybe we're having an off day in terms of our passing, or we're not as sharp, but in terms of grit and mentality, that's what I can bring to the team.
And how's it been just kind of getting used to being a part of this new team? There are a lot of new faces and getting acclimated with it, even just in the preseason.
Yeah, it's been an interesting transition for me. I don't think I've played with this amount of talent on a team in a long time, so it's fun to be with really high quality players. At the same time, just trying to learn everyone's tendencies. It's a completely different style than what I've played for previously. So I'm just trying to take it in day by day and learn as much as I can.
You've had several different people start in front of you on that left side, at that left wing. How's your chemistry been with Tyler, the few minutes you got to play with Almada, for example?
Yeah, I think they're both fantastic players. I think Tyler had a really strong preseason. He's very effective. I'm just trying to set him up in positions where he can be most successful, whether that's coming in inside and combining with Joseph or whoever's in the middle, or getting him out wide and isolated. Same thing with Thiago. I mean, I haven't played with him too much. He's kind of been in and out, but I'm looking forward to him. I mean, you can tell that he's a really, really high quality player. And so once he gets settled in here, I think he's going to be very dangerous for this league.
All right.
Anything else for Andrew? Are we good? All right.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you.